Okay, everybody, today we're going to be going through this PowerPoint presentation about volcanoes, earthquakes, and the ocean floor. One thing I'm going to just tell you now is as we go through, there are some slides that require you to watch a video. They're just short videos that give you some more information. So I've actually listed those videos back on our sites page where you found this PowerPoint, okay? Um, it would not allow me to watch the video and record at the same time. So you'll have to go back and watch those 3 videos. You can choose to pause and go out and watch it at that time, or you can wait till the very end of all this and go out and watch those 3 videos when you're ready, okay? So, again, we'll be talking about volcanoes, earthquakes, and the ocean floor today. All right, volcanoes are openings in the Earth's crust that allow hot, melted rock, which we call magma, ash, and gases to erupt outward. Volcanoes change the Earth's surface in a short amount of time. So when a volcano erupts and causes a damage, it can cause a lot of damage in a very short amount of time, okay? More than half of Earth's surface is made up of volcanic rock. Volcanoes are evidence that we live on an active, changing planet, okay? So at any moment, our planet could be changing. It's always changing. It's always very active, whether we feel it or not. So we're going to talk about how volcanoes form. So most form along cracks in the Earth's crust and reach far below the surface where temperatures are hot enough to melt rock. You would want to watch an eruption from a great distance because most volcanoes are violent and spit out huge quantities of lava, gas, rocks, and ash. Volcanoes can also erupt underwater, forming huge ranges of volcanic mountains on the ocean floor. Although volcanoes are dangerous and can injure people, they're useful because their eruptions enrich the soil. So after a volcanic eruption occurs, the soil, it's actually very good for the soil. Okay, that's what it means by it enriches the soil and it makes it better. All right, here's that first video. If you want to pause and go back to our site and watch that, you can, or you can wait till the end. We're going to talk about the Pacific Ring of Fire. Most earthquakes and volcanic eruptions take place in the red band, which is right here on this photo, around the Pacific Ocean. This is called the Ring of Fire, okay? 81% of major earthquakes and 90% of total earthquakes take place around the Pacific Ring of Fire, so this red band here. Lining the Pacific Basin are 75% of active volcanoes, 450 volcanoes in all. So, the reason why we look at this map and see this ring of fire is because it's important to notice that there's a pattern, okay? Most of those things are occurring in that area. This is where you'll watch that second video. If you want to pause and go out and watch it, you can, or you can just wait till the very end and watch them all together. Earthquakes are waves of energy that pass through Earth caused by a sudden shift of tectonic plates along fault lines. So here in Utah, we live on a fault line. That's why back in March we had an earthquake. I don't know if you remember where you were, but I remember exactly where I was. I was actually almost time for me to get ready to come here to work and pass out Chromebooks. So I remember it very vividly. It seemed like it lasted a lot longer than it did, but it was really only about 15 seconds, okay? Earthquakes can alter the landscape dramatically. So, depending on how strong they are, it can cause lots of damage and it can create gaps in the roads. It can cause havoc and damage. Forces under Earth's surface build up pressure, which is released in waves along a fault. Portions of Earth's crust move, creating waves. Earthquakes can also create landforms on Earth's surface. Mountains can form during an earthquake as the valley rocks slide down and the mountain rocks move up. Earthquakes in the ocean may cause a tsunami, which is a large ocean wave, which we don't have to worry about tsunamis here in Utah because we don't live by the ocean. Scientists use technology to measure and record the strength and locations of earthquakes. They measure in various ways, including a 1 to 10 on the Richter scale. An earthquake that is a 6 or higher can cause significant damage and change the Earth's features. I want to say that the one we had in March was like a 5.6 or a 5.7. I can't remember. So it was a pretty big one, okay? Um, it did cause damage in some areas of Salt Lake, depending on where you lived and how close you were to the epicenter, which is the middle. Um, Personally, at my house, I didn't have a whole lot of damage. I live in Taylorsville. I didn't have a whole lot of damage at that time. But I do know some people who did have lots of damage. This is that third video about earthquakes. So you're going to watch that. You can either pause and exit and watch it, or you can watch them all at the very end. Okay, the ocean floor. In the oceans, plates move apart at mid ocean ridges, creating openings for lava to rise upward, erupt, and cool. The island of Iceland sits right on the mid Atlantic ridge. As more lava erupts and pushes the original seafloor outward, the seafloor spreads and forms new oceanic crust. The rising magma causes the ridge to be buoyant. This is why there is a mountain range running through the oceans. The plates pulling apart cause earthquakes. All right, so this is the end of our slideshow. You're going to go out and watch those 3 videos if you didn't already watch them. Please keep in mind that I hope you paid close attention to this. You can come back and watch this video as many times as you'd like. We will be using this information and adding to this information a little bit later this week. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.